Well, obviously, a very difficult first half. I haven't been involved in many halves like that, and I'm sure our guys haven't either. So that was the tough part. I thought we settled down much more in the second half. Had a little bit of a tendency to do that in the Gonzaga game as well. But when you're playing a team like this, you just can't get yourself in a hole like we got ourselves in a hole in the first 20 minutes, and that's a tough one. You know, there are no excuses. We just didn't get the job done on either side of the ball in that first 20 minutes, and that made it really, really difficult for us.
First question for the players, second row.
Bryce, Coach Alford mentioned the start in the Gonzaga game, same type of start in the North Carolina game, and then tonight. What explains that tendency to start games like that?
I can't really tell you honestly. We just gotta focus more and be ready to play right out the gate. We can't come out scared. We can't come out tentative or passive. We got to come out and know the capabilities that we have as a team, and trust each other and trust our abilities, and just be aggressive right out the gate.
For both players, could you maybe talk about how much credit does Kentucky maybe deserve for the way the game started, 24-0?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team in the country right now. So you got to give credit to them. They made it extremely hard on us, and they took our confidence out of us right at the beginning of the game, and they put it to us from then on. So definitely a lot of credit to them.
Go ahead, front row.
Steve, when they jump out to that 16-0 start and you call a timeout, what do you say to the guys in the huddle? Is that just some kind of a matter of managing their spirits?
Yeah, you know, it's not because they don't care and they're not trying. You know, the guys are trying hard and they're giving great effort. It's just when nothing goes right, it gets very frustrating. It just kind of steamrolls, and you know, I think that's what happened in the start of the game. The ball didn't move. We took shots off 0, 1, 2 passes, and you're playing a defensive team like this. I mean, this team's long. I've been in it 24 years. And I thought Bo Ryan's team, my fourth year at Manchester, when we were both 31-0, I thought that was an awfully good team that we played in the championship game from a Division III standpoint. I don't know in my 20 years of coaching at the Division I level that I've coached against a better team than what this team looks like. They have everything. They can shoot the basketball much better against us tonight than they have in a long time, but they're long, they're athletic, they present so many problems for you because they're so deep. And, you know, and Zach, your first question to Bryce, how's it happen when you list Carolina and Gonzaga and Kentucky? When we played them, I think Carolina was 6, Kentucky's 1, Gonzaga's 9. This is a team that is full of inexperience. I mean, it's not an excuse. It's we had 3 guys go hardship. This team we just played had 3 guys that could have entered the draft and came back. There's a reason why they're where they're at, and our guys are fighting. You know, as long as they keep fighting and we learn, we're probably not ready. Now, I'm not giving any excuses for 41-7. That should not take place. That's bad. And our guys know that, and they feel bad about it. The next 20, we settled down. We had similar games against Carolina and Gonzaga, but they're not ready for that. You know, it is what it is. We just don't have that experience. We got one returning starter, Norman Powell. He's the only guy in the starting lineup for us last year. So, in my mind, those are the reasons for those 3 games. Now, will a month from now we'll be able to play a team that's nationally ranked and do the thing? I hope so. You know, I think that's what we have to be able to do. But the expectation obviously is big, you know, regardless. But we do have to be a little bit, and I've told the media at the beginning of the year, got to be patient. I said it. There are going to be games where you go, whoa, how'd these guys do that? And then there are going to be games just like today where you go, whoa, how'd that happen? And that's, but I'm not going to quit on these guys. Am I frustrated and down? Sure. But we'll get back after the break. We'll get back and we'll keep fighting, and this group will keep getting better. But they're a little bit inexperienced right now to play a team. At least, and I told these guys, in my 24 years of coaching, this is the best team I've coached against. I mean, this team is really, really good. Doesn't excuse a 41-7 half, but we'll get better and we'll learn from it.
Additional player questions starting here, front row.
Bryce, when you guys go into the locker room with 7 points, what do you say to each other, and how do you come up with a plan coming in the second half?
That's the hard part. You know, none of us have ever been in that situation. None of us have ever had a 7-point half before, been down that much a half, or really at any point. And so yeah, it's tough. And as leaders with Norman, myself, and even Kavan, we got to try to just keep our spirits up and just have everybody believe not only in themselves but each other, and just try to keep the spirits up and get us ready to go out and have a better second half.
Second row with the mic.
Kavan, I don't think you've seen a team. You definitely haven't seen a team this tall. You probably won't see a team this tall again. What's it like to play against a team that has 3 guys that are 6'11" or taller?
It was pretty difficult. Hard to get scoring angles on your layups, trying to finish over the top. They're real long, great shot blockers. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience playing out there. Hopefully see them again, because that was embarrassing. You want another stab at it, but it was a lot of fun, and they was really good. And it makes it really difficult.
Third row.
Come on, what goes through your mind when it gets to 24-0? Are you even conscious of the score at that point, or do you just write it off as a bad day? What's the thinking?
You're very, very conscious of it. You got to score a basket. I mean, that's terrible. You never should play a game where with score 7 points in a half. Coach drills us better than that in practice, and we're a much better offensive team than that. So going through my head, we got to score. We got to make the game closer, and we couldn't do it.
Front row question.
What was it that was different about the way Kentucky plays defense than other teams you faced? Obviously, the size is a part of it, but what stood out to you?
I would say it was mainly just the size. We couldn't get to the basket how we wanted. When we did get there, it wasn't easy to finish. When we was driving, we wasn't kicking it out. We didn't get no movement in the first half. And then so the shot blocking really made a difference.
We'll let the players get back to their team. Thanks, Kavan, and thank you, Bryce. Now we'll take questions for the player, or coach, I'm sorry, front row.
Steve, when he says we hope to see him again, I'd like another stab at it. Do you?
Not right now. I appreciate Kavan's enthusiasm, but not right now. No, but Kavan, I've been around long time as a player and as a coach, and I played for the best and Coach Knight, and that when you talk about a dream team, a team that other than Ulis comes in and gives you a whole different element, because the starting 5 that they have, they can basically switch 5 ways. And Coach Knight, I think that was always his dream, that he could get 5 guys, 6'7", 6'8", and just switch everything. And that's hard to score on. That's why, if you look at their numbers, they've played 12 games now. Look at their numbers. They're holding teams to. We scored 42. We came into this game, they were holding teams to 48. So we're not the only team that they really pounded that way from that standpoint. So they're really good defensively. They can switch on you. They guard the pick and rolls well. And then when you beat them, and I thought we did, we got some angles, we beat them. But then you've got 2 guys, 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, that one of them jumps. If he misses it, the other one gets it. It's just, you don't see that kind of size. And I think that affects you, and that's hard to prepare for. Going into a week here and trying to prep for this, you can't simulate what you see. I joked with Cal before the game, because Coach Schilling came up to me before the game. He said, "Hey, I know that when we prepare for teams and then you see them in person, the majority of teams have overhyped sizes, and the sizes aren't correct." And he came up to me and goes, "That's not true with this team." I mean, it's legit. What they are size-wise is legit. And when you have that kind of size, you can do so many different things defensively. And give Cal credit, give the staff credit. They've really got this team playing hard at the defensive end. They continue to play at that level defensively. I'm a firm believer. They got a chance to run this thing out. They're that good. They're that talented.
Second row.
You talked about the lack of experience on your team. How do you use this game as a teaching tool?
Well, you communicate with them, just like we did at halftime, just like we did it at postgame. You come back. I don't know how much video you want to show them of this game, because it's a sensitive deal. Because we've got to have confidence moving forward. But there's teaching moments. For instance, in the first half, the ball didn't move. We're a team where the ball's got to move. In the second half, the ball moved, and we got better shots, and we made shots. Even if we would have missed those shots in the second half, we got better shots in the second half. So we can teach that way. Defensively, we got to look at how we're guarding, how we were set up. For instance, Booker, we didn't really want to come off Booker, and we give him all kinds of open looks. So we have a lot of breakdowns, and right now our defense is too much predicated on what's happening offensively. if we're good offensively, then we do some better things defensively, and that's what a young, inexperienced team does. We've got to learn from that. That we've got to get tougher and nastier and better defensively, which I think that'll help our offense. And these 3 ranked opponents, they bring those things out in you. That's why they're ranked. That's why they're really good. They're going to exploit that and bring it out, and those things have been exposed. Hadn't been so exposed in the other games. We've been able to do pretty well in those. But when you play teams like that, that's going to get exposed to you.
Front row, left side.
Coach, when you watch the tape on them, do they look different when the jersey is Kansas or UCLA or even when they play Texas?
That's hard. Obviously they probably played really well against Kansas, and they probably played really well against us. Cal told me it was the best they played all year. They might have just been being nice, but those are 2 games that I would say they played at a really high level. But you're 12-0. What's the win margin? Wasn't it 28 coming in tonight? It didn't go down. So it's you got a win margin of 30 plus, and you played 12 games, and you've played the likes of Kansas and UCLA and played Providence and played Texas. I mean, they played a pretty good schedule, and they're 12-0 with a plus 30 win margin, and they're holding teams about 45 points. So even if you say, okay, Columbia played them, a little bit tougher, Boston played them. You got a target on your back the size of the state of Kentucky, the way it is, and for them to perform at the level you're coming in to break, those are always tough games to begin with. I thought they were tremendous, and Cal's got them playing at a very high level, believing in what they want to do, and like I said, I don't know of too many teams, if any, in my career that I've coached against that's been any better.
Question, third row.
Barring an additional injury for them, what is it going to take? What kind of team is it going to take to beat them?
They're a hard team to man, and we tried zoning and that didn't work. So we went man, and they're a very difficult team to man because they've got very good inside out. And if the Harrisons, if they'll shoot and play that way, and that I thought they were really under control and did a lot of good things tonight as far as shot selection. And if they make shots like that, they even become harder to play against because they're just so hard to guard. I would think if a team can come in with a lot of length and throw a zone out there that's got length and makes and really gets them out of the paint to where they have to shoot jump shot after jump shot, okay, and that might sound like a good game plan, but they rebound. For every 2 shots they take, they rebound 1 of them. So it's just a hard team to play against. I think their key is defensively. I really think this is a team that if you guard them well and they score 50 points and shoot 20% from the field, they still beat you because they hold you to 35.